In politics, we're often drawn to the landslides, the big, decisive victories. But the real stories, the ones that tell you what's truly happening on the ground, they're often found in the dead heats. Today, we're going deep into one such result from Nagaland's Phek constituency to understand what it means when just a handful of votes can change the entire picture.
If you want to understand the future of governance, you first have to learn how to listen, really listen. And sometimes the voice of the people isn't a roar, it's a whisper you find in the razor-thin margin of a near tie. Our focus today is right here, in Plowhook.
48. In the 2023 Assembly election, this was the entire margin of victory. Just 48 votes. The difference between winning and losing was the number of people you'd find in a small classroom. Think about that. To put that number in perspective, it represents a winning margin of just 0.25%. Let's be very clear. Statistically, this is not a victory. It's a stalemate. It's a powerful signal from the electorate that something is deeply, deeply unsettled. Now, to understand a result this close, looking at spreadsheets and numbers is not enough. You have to go deeper. You have to understand the soil, the livelihoods, the daily life of the people, because that's where politics is truly rooted. Phek's identity is overwhelmingly agrarian. Life here revolves around the seasons, the success of the crops, the market. The social fabric itself is woven from strong tribal networks, mainly Chekesang, Pochuri, and Rangma. And this close-knit community translates into incredibly high political engagement. Voter turnout here consistently hits between 87 and 94%. People show up to vote because it matters directly to their survival. And what are the issues that matter most right now? Well, there are three major points of friction. First, roads and connectivity. The delays on the Kohima-Jessamy Highway aren't just an inconvenience. They are a lifeline being choked off. Second, youth unemployment. The jobless rate for young people in Nagaland is around 27%. That is an entire generation's future being put at risk. And third, a growing feeling of administrative apathy, a sense that the government is just too distant, too unresponsive. These aren't abstract problems, they are daily realities. And this is exactly why that slim margin cannot be seen as a simple victory. It's a critical warning signal sent directly from the people. So what does it mean to govern with a mandate this fragile? It means every single decision is being watched, put under a microscope. The raw data here tells the story. Out of more than 19,000 votes that were cast, the final difference was just 48. The Naga People's Front, the NPF, secured 9,489 votes. The ruling NDPP was breathing down their neck with 9,441. A margin this thin isn't a result, it's a question. The question is, why did this happen?
This analysis gets right to the heart of it. A four-term incumbent, a respected leader, barely managed to hold on. This isn't just about one election. It points to a much deeper trend of voter drift. It shows that no stronghold is ever truly safe when core issues are left to fester.
So let's move from the what to the why. To really understand this voter drift, we need to look at the history, at the patterns over time. Look at the NPF's vote share here over 2 decades. It's been consistently strong, often above 55%, even hitting a high of 62% in 2018. Then, you see 2023, a sudden, sharp drop to below 49%. That isn't a gradual decline. That's like falling off a cliff. Something fundamental has clearly changed. So what's driving this change? Well, it's a few key things coming together at once. First, there's incumbency fatigue. Even a loyal base can start to wear thin. Second, the MPF party itself was weakened across the state after 21 of its MLAs defected to the ruling NDPP. Third, the opponents surged. The NDPP-BJP alliance consolidated its power and now commands nearly half the vote. And finally, that infrastructure flashpoint. The highway protests gave a single, powerful voice to years of frustration. And when public trust breaks down over something as real and tangible as a highway, it brings a core principle of governance into sharp focus. Political speech carries a heavy responsibility. A responsibility to be truthful, to address the real concerns of the people, and to uphold the basic dignity of public discourse. Now, to assess this strategic situation systematically, we can use a framework called the Chatter-Muka Doctrine. It's really just a way of looking at power from 4 different angles. It helps us see the complete picture, not just one piece of it. This framework reveals a clear tension. On one hand, the candidate has immense personal trust and decades of experience. That's a huge strength. And the public's concern over roads presents a clear opportunity. But on the other hand, the party organization is fractured, and they're up against a ruling alliance with far, far superior resources.
So the first phase is the electoral phase. This is all about the candidate's personal connection to the voters. Here, it's high. Decades of service, deep local roots, and personal credibility. These are powerful, invaluable assets. This is the foundation.
But that strength is contrasted by the second face, the organizational face. This represents the strength of the party machinery on the ground. And here, it's low. After the defections, the network of workers is thin. A leader alone doesn't win an election. An organized army of supporters does.
The third is the narrative phase. This is the ability to tell a compelling story that cuts through all the noise. This one is rated medium. There are powerful themes of cultural identity to draw upon, but it's very difficult to be heard when the ruling alliance controls the dominant statewide narrative.
And finally, the resource face, which is access to funding, media, and technology, is rated low. This creates a significant disadvantage in money, in media reach, and in modern outreach, and it impacts everything from rallies to social media. So having diagnosed all the challenges, we now have to turn to the prescription. What is the actionable path forward? What does a blueprint for governance actually look like when you're starting from a razor-thin 48-vote lead? This is the fundamental question, isn't it? How do you move forward from a 48-vote margin? How do you turn a warning signal from the people into a real mandate for genuine change? The path forward must be systematic and disciplined. It's a 90-day ladder. It begins 3 months out, focusing squarely on local issues like roads and farming, with mobile teams taking that message directly to the villages. At 60 days, it becomes personal, door-to-door outreach in every single hamlet. 30 days out, you build momentum with rallies featuring local influencers people trust. In the final 2 weeks, a social media blitz becomes crucial to counter any misinformation. And in the final week, you galvanize your supporters with community events, leading to a full mobilization on polling day. And that social media push, of course, comes with a modern responsibility. As campaigns move more and more online, voter privacy and consent are absolutely paramount. It's about aligning with India's data protection principles and ensuring that technology serves the voter, not the other way around. This brings us to our final and, frankly, our most important point. All of this strategy, all of this data, they're only tools. The real goal isn't just to win an election. It's to build a foundation for genuine, people-centric governance that can withstand whatever comes next. The philosophy is this. Data-driven strategy should handle the precision work of an election. It manages the details, the logistics. This frees up the leader to do what only they can do. Focus on the vision, on connecting with the people, and on building the trust that a 48-vote margin proves is so precious and so very easily lost.
If you want to become a people-centric leader and uplift your constituency, get in touch with blueprintstrategies.ai at mgr@blueprintstrategies.ai or call 080-4204-1602. Purpose beyond politics.